So the other night my parents met my boyfriend for the first time, which is a scary moment for anyone. Over the course of the evening we started talking about pets, the lies that my grandmother had told me about the cat who had gone back to live on the farm because its mum was homesick, and the time where my dad told me my cat had died peacefully in her sleep when actually a fox had eaten her. We were all laughing so hard we couldn't breathe. Turns out my boyfriend had a murderous pet rabbit, my mother had a hamster that we thought was killed by my grandfather dropping a shed on it, but turns out was killed by my uncle dropping a wardrobe on it, which isn't really better. One particular story came out. When I was younger, me and my younger brother each had a hamster. Mine was called Casper and was a female, his was called Luke and was a male. We used to put Luke's cage underneath Casper's. Casper was a vibrant little thing, she's always running around, she could do tricks, she was really friendly, she'd never bite you. Luke was really fat, didn't really get much exercise, and mean. And he had really enormous, there's no nice way to put that. He had huge balls. After about 10 months or so of having these hamsters, we went on holiday, so we took them to my aunt and uncle's house, and we came back and Luke looked amazing. He was sleek, he was glossy, and we were like, what? How have you got him back looking so healthy in a week? My aunt Debbie said, well, it's because you were putting a boy hamster and a girl hamster really close together, and the poor boy hamster could smell her and it was driving him mad. We didn't have any other space for them, so unfortunately Luke and Casper ended up going on the same shelving unit again, and he got fat again and his balls got huge again. Out of the blue, a year after we got them, Casper died and I was devastated. And when she died I was really cross because Casper was the healthy hamster. Luke, look at him, he was the size of a sea slug and he was always lolling about with huge balls. And we spent ages going, it's really weird because Casper was so healthy. How has Luke lived 7 months longer than her? The other night we found out. Luke had died when we went on holiday and they'd replaced him quietly with another hamster. Dad had known all these years, but had never told any of us. That's why Luke lived longer, he was younger. Luke Mark II was younger than Luke Mark I, who had exploded. Apparently, that's how my dad told it, Luke exploded. That got me thinking about all the times my parents have lied to me. There are the obvious ones, like if you eat your crusts it'll give you curly hair, and I wanted to grow up being well, I essentially wanted to look how Carrie Fletcher looks now. I ate all my crusts. Did not give me curls, just gave me a penchant for carbs. They also used to tell me that remote controls were called didges, which was short for digit, and I believed that all the way up until the age of 17 when I said it in front of my media class and was laughed at a lot. My dad taught me that if you stood inside a ring made of stones or mushrooms, then the fairies would take you away and you'd come out looking just as young as the day you went inside, but it would be in the future. They told me if you jump high enough then you can fly because you'd go into orbit. I spent a lot of my youth jumping off my bed and it never worked. I told other kids that as well. You know those electricity boxes where they have the sign with the man being jolted by the lightning symbol? They told me that in those boxes lived an electricity monster. My dad had this whole bit where there was one in the park that used to have holes in it and he used to tell us about the electricity monster. Then he'd put his finger in and go "Arr!" and come out doing that. My parents told me that there was a witch living in the park keeper's hut. My dad actually got the park keeper's assistant to back him up on that. You know when you see tree stumps in the park? My dad told me that tree stumps were where witches cut wings off fairies for their potions and recipes and stuff. This is the finger of shame. If someone says something shameful, then you go, ooh, shame. No one else in the world does it. Apparently it's just a my family thing. When they were going out to parties and dinner parties and grown-up date nights when I was younger, they used to tell me that they were going to conferences so that I wouldn't want to come with them. My dad, master of the macabre children's story, also once told me that if I sucked my thumb too much, the scissor man would come and cut off my thumbs. So I'm curious, what lies did your parents tell you? Oh, and while I remember, please go and check out my friend Stephen Laverty's brilliant vlog. I'll put a link down in the description. He's very funny. I'll be back on Friday with something else completely ridiculous. But for now, have an awesome day. Please like, comment and subscribe to this channel if you've had fun. And from Ash Acting Up, over and out.